With YouTube demonetizing independent media, please consider becoming a patron today for just $1 per month. Link below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and I know, we are all super sick and tired of Stormy Daniels, especially if you watch CNN at all, right? Like anything else in the world could be happening that's of more importance than Stormy Daniels. You turn to CNN and it's breaking news. Stormy Daniels, ... It's everywhere. And ultimately, I understand that I'm kind of feeding into it by talking about this, but I do find this particular thing to be interesting because the entire case surrounding Stormy Daniels, even though it's one I ultimately want to go away, the voyeur in me is just like, ooh, what's gonna happen next? Well, Stormy Daniels is suing President Trump for defamation in a tweet. This, my friends, is the world we live in. I wish I was making that up. I wish this was just a joke. It's not. It's totally not. But it says here, Stormy Daniels is upping the ante, suing President Donald Trump for defamation. Daniels, whose legal name is Stephanie Clifford, filed a complaint in federal court in New York on Monday, saying that a Trump tweet in which he dismissed a composite sketch that Daniels says shows the man who threatened her to remain silent about her relationship with the president was defamatory. Earlier this month, Clifford worked with the forensic artist to make a sketch of the man who says threatened her in Las Vegas parking lot in 2011, telling her to leave Trump alone and forget the story. Daniels said the man also suggested something bad could happen to her should she ignore this warning. Now, this particular statement from Stormy Daniels has been one that's been called into contention quite some time, right? I mean, for quite a bit. The tweet in question that Trump is kind of calling out is one that shows this particular sketch next to next to a photo of her with like an ex-boyfriend or ex-husband or something who happens to resemble him somewhat. And so many have kind of jumped to the conclusion that this is one of the things where, you know, she's making it up, that's what she's doing, and it's really this guy, and this is a non-story, this is fake news. That's, of course, what a lot of Trump supporters are saying, and people who I think are just kind of in the middle that are just like, oh my God, can this thing just please freaking end? But there are people out there that are very much believing of this, and they believe her, and they believe that Trump would sink to such levels. If you want my honest opinion, I do think Trump would sink to such levels through Michael Cohen. I do. I think Cohen being his fixer for a long time, him having threatened people in the past to ruin their lives and whatnot, and even Trump himself suing, let's say, Bill Maher for $5 million over Maher making the joke that Trump's birth father was in fact an orangutan, and got Trump in court in order to, and made him present his birth certificate in order to prove that his father was not in fact an orangutan. Like, these kind of crazy cases have happened before, especially involving Donald Trump. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for this to be a tactic. Now, the tactic here has everything to do with Michael Avenatti and how he is going after Trump. He is basically playing Trump's game against him. And that's one of the reasons why he's been very much an attack dog, very on the ball. And as a result of him being what he's doing, it did get the FBI to raid Michael Cohen's offices. It got the FBI to go and take all of his personal files. And it got Michael Cohen ultimately to plead the fifth, which does crack me up a little bit because Trump said that if you plead the fifth, you clearly have something to hide. So there are elements here that are quite interesting, even if ultimately I'm still done with this particular story. I just find the particulars to be fascinating. I'm tired of seeing Stormy Daniels in the news. That's just me. Now, in a tweet earlier this month, Trump said that the man was non-existent and dismissed Daniel's story as a total con job, which he said was playing the fake news media for fools. The court filing says that the tweet was false and defamatory. Daniels is seeking a jury trial and unspecified damages, with the complaint saying Mr. Trump used his national and international audience of millions of people to make false factual statement to denigrate and attack Miss Clifford, and neither Trump nor the attorney are going to be responding to it. But here's the thing. You might be saying to yourself, but doesn't defamation require there to be like actual, like, a cost to her? Well, it's possible that they could argue that it will, right? She's currently on a tour right now, the Make America Horny Again tour. She's gone and done a lot of things, and all of a sudden she's got a bit more of a bump out of this. but something like that could cost her bookings, could cost her standing in the community, and that could be considered something that would be, you know, defamatory. But those particular laws are very, they're loose in a sense, and so it's very hard to, it's really hard to lock it down, because this could be argued as it's Trump's opinion. But at the same time, Trump is the president of the United States, and his words do in fact carry more weight. And that could be something that could be argued. Ultimately, though, and this is just my personal opinion, I am no lawyer, I'm no legal expert, I'm just an idiot sitting in front of a webcam. My theory here is that, you know, or my thoughts here, that he's the president. You can't indict a sitting president, for one, and two, he's still got the First Amendment protection. You know, he can dismiss it all he wants. It's okay for him to do so. But I have a feeling there's something a bit more, I don't want to say nefarious, but a bit of trickery at play here. Because keep in mind that the complaint is looking for a jury trial with unspecified damages. The jury trial is what you want to look at here, because Trump, and if you take this from, like, let's say the Mueller investigation perspective, Trump was talking with Mueller, trying to work with the lawyers in order to kind of negotiate a sit down to talk. That kind of fell through. Michael Avenatti has been saying for weeks that he wants to depose Trump, and that's been one of the things that's been very much, you know, not going to get. But now we've got this suit, this defamation lawsuit, and if the judge, you know, if they're able to get it in front of a jury, they're able to get a court date, and Trump has to appear, and there's no way out of it, then Michael Avenatti can then depose Trump, and that's what he wants. So what he wants to do is he wants to get Trump in a sit down. He wants to interview him, and it could be over a litany of different issues. My theory, my assumption, speculation would be that it would, you know, we're talking like the 130,000 for Michael Cohen, whether or not Trump had any knowledge of this, whether or not it was considered an in-kind contribution to the Donald Trump campaign. Why did it happen 11 days before the election? I mean, all of those questions, I think many people who've been following this story have asked themselves at least one point in time or another. That's kind of my thought on that one. But there's another angle here. And again, this is just theory. Take it, leave it, whatever. But Avenatti clearly is trying to make a name for himself. I don't think anyone's going to dispute that. He very much is trying to make himself, you know, a household name in some respects. I think in some areas of the country he probably is. But going after Trump in a very bulldog way is playing Trump's game. And if he can outmaneuver Trump, he could get him in that interview. Well, that interview is something also that, you know, Mueller couldn't get. Right? Mueller couldn't get it. Now, the two are not related, at least as far as I can tell, the two are not related. But it still could be something that Avenatti could use as maybe a bargaining chip down the road, or a way to kind of elevate his status down, you know, for book deals or whatever. I depose Trump. That information could then be used, you know, probably not used with the special counsel, but whatever comes out from that could be interesting. And I don't know if he would release that information or not. I just find that the whole thing to be, I find it, my personal take is that he is doing this as a way to simply elevate himself, and you know, basically really just kind of stick it to the president. But I don't see this going, I don't see this going to court. I don't see this going to trial. However, I mean, what Trump said about Michael Cohen on Air Force One, that prompted the FBI 2 days later to raid his office and his hotel room, collect all of his files. Cohen pleading the fifth when in regards to anything involving Stormy Daniels out of that particular collected information. A judge could look at this and go, well, you know, there's enough ancillary stuff here, enough circumstantial stuff here that it, you know, Trump responding to it, calling her a con artist, playing the fake media for fools, that kind of stuff, could be seen as a, as well, he's got more, you know, as something, you know, at least investigating or having a discussion about than anything else. But then again, like, I'm no expert. I don't know. I'm just, these are what, you know, I've been following this story, and this is just what I think things are going to go. I can entirely be wrong, and I would be okay if I am. So that's where I'm at. But I do want to know what you guys have to say about this. Do you think that this is a big deal? Do you think this is a petty move? Do you think they're ever going to go to jury? Or they're ever going to go to court? Is Trump going to be deposed? Do you wish Stormy Daniels would go away? Do you wish CNN would actually talk about something relevant than this? These are things I'm curious to know. Be sure to let me know in the comments. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel. If you haven't already, please thumbs up the video, subscribe, check back often for more content. If you want to support the channel, share it around, watch more videos. Patreon's a good way to do that, or just, hang out and click on whatever comes next, which you can do right now. Hey, thank you very much for watching the video. Be sure to hit that subscribe, click on that bell, and follow me on social media. It's the best way to stay up to date on all things Mundane Matt, as well as check out 3 Buck Theater and the Russell podcast streaming Sunday through Thursday, 9:30 p.m. on russell.net. Thanks very much and have a great day.